Oh my gosh, bro. I'm sure everyone has seen this already, but I really want to talk about it because I feel like I genuinely feel like my opinion, if this video gets more than like 30 views, I'm gonna get crucified because I will have one of the hottest takes possible. But in my mind, it's not even a hot take. All right, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this dude named Jason Streamer recorded a video or was on stream with alpacas in a petting zoo, small contained space, and he called another streamer who was like a animal rescue streamer. You used to call me on my... What am I doing? Point is, he called her, she got mad, and then he got a bunch of hate because alpacas aren't supposed to be in like tiny little compartments. It's considered like some type of animal abuse, right? And I want to say right now, do I think he deserved it? No. Do I think keeping alpacas in a contained space like that is good? Probably not. From what I heard so far, I don't think alpacas are supposed to be kept as animals. They're not dogs. Anyways, the point I was making was he called people, Maya like cooked them, Jacksepticeye cooked them, and then there's quotes of a bunch of people cooking them. Oh, she's based. Oh, he's dumb. He's a dumb streamer. He's subhuman. This is how they treat animals and people. Their content is just like their pockets. They're sick. The audacity to do this is crazy. An alpaca person said something, getting animals for content, putting them in miserable conditions. I hope, and whatever. So we understand what's going on, right? The dude did something. He made a mistake. He wasn't aware, and I was getting hate for him. But what I want to say, this is kind of laced a little bit with philosophy and the idea of morality, which is why I wanted to speak on it. Every single person that I can't say every single person because I'm just gonna say majority, 90%, even the big ones like Jacksepticeye and Maya. I don't want to hate on them. I'm just talking about this because I think it's kind of an ironic point to the situation that nobody really pointed out. Maya, Jacksepticeye, any other creators that responded to him, any other people that responded to him, that quote tweeted him, that replied to him, that hated on him, I would say 90% of them are not vegan. And why do I mention that? Why does being vegan matter? Because what he did was kept an alpaca in a condition where it's probably miserable and not in a good place, right? Has anybody ever watched Dominion? Has anybody ever seen how they slaughterhouses treat animals? Animals are kept in like 1 square foot spaces in crazy cages. They can't move. Pigs are tossed around, punched in the face, kicked. Animals are obviously killed and murdered for meat. They're inseminated cows so they could get the milk out of them. But 90% of the people who are mad at this dude for an alpaca farm thing support slaughterhouses by buying McDonald's, buying groceries from the store, buying this, buying that. And even this is not my beliefs because I don't think you have to be vegan, but if you don't have a consistent morality and are getting mad at somebody for doing something else, but you yourself are supporting something that's considered way worse to your own view, that you say it's miserable to treat animals a certain way, but you're actively supporting the killing and terrible treatment of animals by slaughterhouses, it doesn't make sense to me. It seems hypocritical, ironic, and just funny in my view. And I want to try to be as clear as possible because what I'm saying is not that veganism is the perfect option or the correct option. What I'm trying to do is look at a person's value system, specifically these people on Twitter or these people that are commenting and hating on this streamer, and criticize them internally using their own morality and their own logic and their own ideas and see if it's consistent across the board. So if someone believes it's wrong to harm animals and abuse animals, in this case what this streamer did, then they should also believe it's wrong to eat animals because eating animals supports meat industries. And what does the meat industry do? Kills animals, sometimes abuses animals, depending on if it's from a slaughterhouse or not, but it still ends up with killing animals, right? And again, this is not my beliefs. I'm not vegan. I don't think everybody should be vegan. I'm just doing internal critiques of the person's ideologies and showing how they're inconsistent and why I find that funny / ironic. And like I said, bro, if this gets more than 20 views, I know people are going to be upset at it because it's like trying to take spotlight away from a certain thing, or no, those two things aren't this. Those things are the exact same. If you believe it's wrong to treat animals wrong or an incorrect manner, then you should believe and not actively support slaughterhouses and killing animals. You're killing animals. The dude was petting an animal. You're killing an animal to eat it. Do you understand the disconnect in people's ability to call something out? It's like we live in this virtual signaling culture that people just want to hop on the hate train of something, but they don't even think if their own ideas and values match to what reality is, to what their own reality is. And I'm not saying you have to be vegan, right? Because I don't think you have to be vegan. I don't think being vegan is the perfect choice. I think you can still eat meat, but if your whole idea is you're anti-animal abuse, anti this, then you would also be vegan. And it doesn't make sense that you would be anti that, but also not call out slaughterhouses and being against eating meat when those actively kill animals. And he was doing a petting zoo animal that harms the animal in a different way, sure, but one of them is taking the life of the animal. I don't know, bro. Maybe I'm taking these people like too serious. Genuinely can't. He got famous for being okay. People are just cooking him. Jason gives me the ick. The alpaca, something of, yeah, it's probably in the best. The kid's going to lose. Why are they hating on him so? Bro went to Alves and learned how bad the pet trade was from various different animals and how harmful it is, and it just a completely chosen free. Like I said before, I genuinely think he just didn't think about it. Like he didn't think, oh, this is probably a bad idea. But then again, the same people that are getting mad at him for doing this also consume meat and support the meat industry. That literally doesn't make sense. Like, am I dumb for thinking that? And I'm not saying this to send hate to Maya or to Jacksepticeye or to anybody that, you know, quoted him or said what he did was wrong. Bro, like I was saying, this rant, I don't know where it went, but the point is that I'm not trying to send hate to anybody. And I understand we're all human, right? So we're all gonna have beliefs that contradict. At one point, we're gonna say something that's inconsistent. At one point, we're gonna say something that doesn't really make sense with what we believe in. But I think if we're just more mindful of the fact that there's people that, you know, can make minor mistakes and not understand it, instead of jumping on the train without realizing that our own beliefs conflict our own ideas. Like even to the big streamers that commented, even to the people on Twitter that commented, like just think about it next time you're saying something, right? Like you can think something's wrong, but also realize, wow, okay, now do I support something that goes against what I believe? Maybe I need to think about what I'm saying first, and maybe I need to get that right in path before I try correcting somebody else's behavior. You could, because it's okay to correct somebody's behavior. It's okay to say, nah, you shouldn't be doing that. But then jumping on the hate train, saying this, that, being all prideful of your own self and prideful of your own intelligence, but at the same time being ignorant to the fact that you're contradicting your own value. It's just a bunch of nonsense in my opinion. And you know, it's typical streamer drama, typical, you know, virtue signaling people that don't understand what they're saying and don't even understand the ramifications of their own words and what it even means when you try to apply their ideologies consistently to them across the board. So I'm gonna end off with this, you know, love everybody. If somebody makes a mistake, always try to correct them, but you should always try to be better yourself. If you genuinely believe that your worldview is consistent, that your beliefs are consistent, that's fine. But if you really look deeper and realize that, oh, I'm a hypocrite, this doesn't match with what I believe, then you got to really do that and maybe take steps in order to better yourself and figure it out. I do that every day before trying to, you know, judge people at all times, even though I just did that right now the whole time. But anyways, yeah, that was my rant for today. If you hate me, please don't do that, because I don't usually make drama videos. This is just kind of fun for me to talk about, and it was just kind of a little bit philosophically, and which I find interesting, but I didn't really speak that philosophically. It was kind of more basic, like level language, which everybody can understand. But yeah, that's my rant. I'll see y'all later. Don't hate me. Bye.